Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rounds Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We are giving English reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, we're going to be giving you the third game of the series between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chiba Lotte Marines. It is the rubber match of the series as Chiba won yesterday 3-1 and snapped the Eagles' 11-game win streak. And so we'll start off by giving the starting lineups first from the visitors from Chiba. Leading off and playing in left field wearing number 38 is Akito Takabe. Batting second and playing second base wearing number 8 is Shogo Nakamura. Batting third and playing first base wearing number 32 is Toshiya Sato. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting wearing number 54 is Brandon Laird. Batting fifth and playing third base wearing number 5 is Hisanori Yasuda. Batting sixth and playing in right field wearing number 79 is Leonis Martin. Batting seventh and in center field wearing number 25 is Hiromi Oka. Batting eighth and playing shortstop wearing number 55 is Edney Hechavarria. And batting ninth and doing the catching wearing number 2 is Ko Matsukawa. And they are going to be facing the right-hander. It is going to be Takayuki Kishi, who takes to the mound for the Eagles. He has a 3-0 record. He's worked 32 innings so far. He's allowed 23 hits, 10 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 7 and struck out 27, and he has a 2.81 earned run average. And now the starting lineups for the home team for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. They are going to start with in left field wearing number 6 is Haruki Nishikawa. Batting second at first base, number 7 is Daichi Suzuki. Batting third at second base is number 3, Hideto Asamura. In the cleanup spot playing in right field, wearing number 35 is Hiroki Shimouchi. The designated hitter batting fifth is number 12, Jose Marmoleos. Batting sixth and playing at third base, wearing number 24 is Fumiya Kurakawa. Batting seventh and in center field, wearing number 8 is Ryosuke Tatsumi. Batting eighth is the shortstop, wearing number 34, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And batting ninth and doing the catching, wearing number 26 is Jinjiro Sumitani. And the pitcher for the Chiba Lotte Marines is Manabu Mima. He is hunting for his first win of the year as he is 0-4. He's worked 24 and a third innings, allowed 20 hits, 9 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 25, and he has an earned run average of 3.33. Well, this is ready to get underway as here's the first pitch of the ball game from Kishi. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs to Akito Takabe, and we are underway in Tohoku. 1 ball and no strikes. Kishi ready to go back to work. He delivers a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-0 to Takabe. For Takabe on the season, he's hitting .260. He's got a homer and 9 runs batted in. He's been an adequate table setter for the Marines. And here Kishi rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses in. The count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Takabe. Kishi working quickly from the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball. It drops in for a called strike. It was like a teardrop. And it just fell off the bottom. And right across the zone it went. So here comes the offering to Kishi. It is a fastball. This is swung on. This is lifted into right center field. Tatsumi is racing over to his left. Digging hard is the batter Takabe. He rounds first, but he's going to throw on the brakes. And he is going to get back to first base safely with a single, and that's how the ball game is going to begin. The leadoff hit here for Takabe. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. For Nakamura on the season, he's batting .204 with a homer and 9 runs batted in. The captain of the squad is not quite the one here that we have it. We've got Rob Gambone in the house tonight. He's asking, where can we watch these games in the United States? I'll try to answer your question in between pitches as we give you the call here, Rob. And so here comes the first offering to Shogo Nakamura. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. There is somebody who comes into the stream. His name is Alexander Leggett. Usually he gives some information out with regards to that. So a couple of things. Last year, DAZN was carrying the games in the States. and you could be able to get their package. I don't believe that they are carrying it this year. There is ABC out of Hawaii was carrying it as well, if I'm not mistaken, up until a couple of years ago. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. But what the folks have been saying in here is either the NPB Reddit, there are links that will give you where you can actually get to the feeds. And the other option is something called QQQ. But when some of the other folks come in here, they can give you some of those leads. And what they do is because they're calling it in Japanese, they usually sync it up to our feed here. So here comes the 0-2 offering to Nakamura. Kishi kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to left field. Moving over toward the foul line and making the catch is Nishikawa. And that is going to retire Nakamura for the first out of the inning. So he is gone, and that still keeps the runner Takabe at first base. So one away, and that will bring up Toshiya Sato. For Sato, he is batting .237 on the season. It is no homers and 11 RBIs. Rob says he would love to watch and will pay. Yeah, some of the links that you can get are actually free links, but as I said, we can't put those in our chat here. That'll get us into some trouble, but they can guide you at least through the chat to be able to get it to you. It could get us tossed off of YouTube if we're showing stuff. As the pitcher, Kishi, throws over to first base. Diving back in time is the base runner, Takabe. So Takabe establishes his lead. Kishi holds at the belt. And here comes the first pitch to the first baseman, Sato. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike. For Sato on the season, he's hitting .237. He's got no homers and 11 runs batted in. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Kishi. And Kishi holds at the belt, and he's ready to go to work. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball. Off to the races goes the base runner, Takabe. The throw is down to second, but it's not in time. The Eagles are going to maybe have a look at this one here, and they're definitely going to review. So we're going to have to hold up on that. We'll have to get you the pitch on that. It was an 0-1 pitch to Sato. So I didn't catch the umpire if that was a ball or a strike. But they are going to review this on Takabe. We'll give you our thoughts. We've been on song here for the last week or so. We haven't missed one yet. The umpires are going under the hood. They're going to make their decision, but we're going to give you our call here in a moment. The first replay we get to look at. The ball looks like it is in time. But boy, we're going to have to see that one. I'm not sure if the tag was down in time. We got a different camera angle. The one thing, the old school, was the tag was actually high, and as far as I'm concerned, it looks like that the runner is going to be safe. I don't think that this call is going to be overturned. The tag was up the leg. The way it used to operate is if the tags were high, then they wouldn't get the call. If the tag was low, then they would give the call to the defensive team, especially if the ball beat them there. So Sato is at the plate, and we're waiting on the decision on Takabe. Otherwise, he'll be in scoring position here. I think he's going to be ruled safe, but we'll see what the umpires have to say when they come back. Sometimes it makes me wonder if they're going to use their challenge. I hope they don't lose their challenge. And here comes the call. And the call is going to stand. That is going to be a safe call. That's second base. So a stolen base for Takabe. That goes down as his 8th of the year. It was a good throw by the catcher, but they just didn't quite nail him in time. We appreciate you, Rob, for subscribing to the channel. We see that has popped up. We will be calling a couple more games on the weekend here, so hopefully you can pop in and join us. So no balls and 2 strikes. Kishi holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is fouled off into the seats over behind the third base dugout, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sato. At least I've got him for 0-2, but as I said, we're going to have to see what the count is here. It is still 0-2, so that was an 0-2 pitch that he fouled away. As we said, when the base runner was off to the races, we didn't get the call from the plate umpire. There's our friend Alexander Leggett right on schedule. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Our friend Rob Gambone, who's in here, was inquiring about where he might be able to watch it. I gave him some of the tips that you've given. I recommended the QQQ. I also recommended the possibility of I believe the NPB Reddit has some links, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2. So Rob, if you're still here, Alexander is giving you some of that information, so hopefully that'll work out in your favor. And while you're hunting for it, then you've got some people here that may be able to support you in your endeavor. And so here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball. This is swung on. It is grounded softly over to the first baseman. It's fielded neatly by Daichi Suzuki. He flips it over to the pitcher covering. That's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for the second out of the inning. It's going to advance Takabe to third. That is going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Brandon Laird. For Brandon Laird, he's batting .205 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 15 RBIs. The Chiba import players, Laird, Hechavarria, Leonis Martin, have really not given the Chiba Lotte Marines the information that they need. We've got Makako Garkovo asking, what is our background? I guess the question would be, is background in what way? As in cultural, as in baseball? There's a first pitch breaking ball that is swung on and missed by Brandon Laird. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Laird. Rob says he appreciates it and he's trying his best. Well, we're here to help you, support you there, Rob. So hopefully you can cue it up and join with us for all the fun. And so here comes the other part. The living room is in the house tonight too. And there is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-2 to Laird. I'm not sure Brandon Laird really liked that pitch. That pitch was a good, solid 6 inches off the plate. So Makako Garkovo wants to know professional, career, and school, all three of the above. So professionally, never played professionally. Played 3 years of college summer baseball a number of years ago. But I've coached professionally and coached over in Europe, coached at the college level for about 9 years. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Brandon Laird was retired. I'll come back in just a moment here and we'll talk a little bit about myself. But before we do that, we're going to give you the roundup here. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines, there was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is Chiba nothing. The Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the call and the action and have some more fun with some of this stuff. Here is our friend Dave.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for checking out Last Wraps. We had some winners in last month's mystery pack giveaway. The names right here, and maybe here are the winners. Make sure you are following the instructions on our other videos to qualify this month for a pack of mystery cards from Zero Fox Sports Cards. Thanks for checking it out. Enjoy the ball game.
Appreciate you, Dave. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us tonight. We're anticipating a nice large crowd, and hopefully we can give you guys all the calls and information. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the first inning. It's going to be Haruki Nishikawa, Daichi Suzuki, and Hideno Asamura to get things going for the Eagles in their half of the first. They're facing the right-hander Manabu Mima, who is looking for his first win of the season. He's kind of had a tough luck 0-4 record. I'll start to answer some of the questions from our friend earlier who asked in the last half inning from Makako Garkovo, so about professional career in school. There's a fastball delivered to Nishikawa, and the count is 0-1. The easiest thing to do, actually, is just to go to our website, lastrapsbaseball.com, and if you go to the About Us page, you'll be able to see a little bit about us and myself, so that might make it easier for you. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-2, because that should answer all of your questions. So that's the way she is. As I look through some of the stuff, I am trying to keep up with the chat. We see Troy Trolls is in the house. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Nishikawa. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. Troy says the Eagles are heavy favorites again, and I believe that you are correct. It is a stuff here. Alexander Leggett said he got stood up today. I'll buy you a beer to recompense. I appreciate you. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Nishikawa on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Daichi Suzuki. For Suzuki on the season, he's batting .202 with a homer and 7 RBIs. Gets the nod at first base today. He came into last night's game as a pinch hitter for the shortstop Yamazaki, and he ended up grounding out to the shortstop, but he gets the nod today. He's not quite having the season that he did last year. I thought he had a pretty steady season right across the board, Suzuki. He is a pretty nice defensive player. He's played on both sides of the corners of the infield at first and third. There's a split finger pitch that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right center field. Moving in on it is the center fielder, Oka. He's going to make the catch. And there's 2 up and 2 away here in the first inning. That is going to leave it up to Hideo Asamura. For Asamura, he's regained his form from a couple of seasons ago. He's got batting .300 on the season with 6 homers and 27 RBIs. The second baseman is an impactful player in the Tohoku lineup. I really like this Tohoku lineup. There's a lot of veteran hitters in here. Alexander Leggett says Suzuki is one of those guys who's kept around because he's relatively cheap and good defensively. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Well, he reminds me a little bit about the other fellow with the Eagles, Igor Emoji. Emoji played a lot of third base last year, and of course, at first base was Suzuki. Both players, you're right, are relatively cheap, but adequate enough. Probably not good enough to play every day, but good enough to be in your lineup 4 days a week, 3-4 days a week. Fastball swung on and lifted into the stands down the first base line. The count is 0-2. As I look at the crowd, it looks like it's a more healthy crowd than last night. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, was a little bit more sparse in Tohoku. As here, it looks like they've got a good attendance for this one. Still a lot of school children there. So here comes the 0-2 offering. Mima kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it. Is tapped slowly over to third. It's fielded by Yasuda over to first. And that is going to retire Asamura on a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to end it here for the Eagles. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. And nobody left the board. We are through one complete. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with the call at the top of the second inning when we return. Here is Dave again. And this is for this month.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
We'll be right back in just a moment, everybody. Nothing after 1. It should be an entertaining affair tonight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. And the right-hander Takayuki Kishi has completed his warm-up tosses, and it's going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up to bat for Chiba. That's Hisanori Yasuda, Leonis Martin, and Hiromi Oka to get things going here in the top of the second inning. Yasuda is batting .241 on the season. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. And here's the first offering from Kishi. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. I really have to hang in with the home plate umpire tonight. He is rather slow and deliberate in his calls. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kishi rocking into the motion. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball. This is swung on. It's lifted into shallow left field. It's almost in the Bermuda Triangle. Racing in is Nishikawa, and he's going to make the catch as he calls off the shortstop Yamazaki to retire Yasuda for the first out here in the second inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Leonis Martin. Troy says, how are these pitchers tonight? I'll get back to Alexander Leggett in a minute, but he says, how are these pitchers tonight? Well, Mima on the season is 0-4, but it's a bit of a questionable 0-4. He's pitched fairly well. His numbers are pretty good. There's a fastball delivered to Leonis Martin that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count's 1-0. He's worked 24 and a third innings, allowed 20 hits, only given up 9 runs earned, walking 6 and striking out 25. But he's unfortunately been sort of tough luck. Hasn't got a decision. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul. It's hooked way up into the stands. That souvenir might have even left the stands as that thing was hook barreled around. And Martin is now got the count at even at 1-1. The other pitcher, Takayuki Kishi, he's 3-0. And he's got himself a really nice line as well. He's got a 2.81 ERA on the season. He struck out 27 batters in those 32 innings. So we could be in for an entertaining affair tonight. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count now runs to 2-1 on Leonis Martin. I was starting to say earlier that Leonis Martin is, and the import players for Chiba have been pretty much disappointing this year. Laird, Martin, Hechevarria, offensively, they've really been stinking it up. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 3-1. Martin is hitting .131 on the season with a homer and 5 RBIs. Laird is barely over the 200 mark, and then Hechevarria is below the Mendoza line at .191. So here's the 3-1 pitch. There is a changeup swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Martin. You don't see a ton of changeups in the Japanese league, but when you do see them, they are pretty good, and Kishi's got one of the better ones. So here comes the 3-2 offering. Kishi kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside. Leonis Martin is aboard with a 1-out walk here in the second inning, and that's going to bring up the center fielder Hiromi Oka. For Oka, he's batting .191 on the season. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs to his name. He did pick up an RBI last night as he smoked the ball into the oppo gap to bring one of the runs home in that 3-run inning for the Marines. So Oka batting from the right side, waiting on the offering from the right-hander Kishi. Kishi holds at the belt and he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Alexander Leggett asked the question. He said, who is the umpires for tonight's game? The home plate umpire for this one here is Aoki. I don't know the first name. Murayama is the first base ump. The second base ump is Suyama, and Nishimoto is the third base ump. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left center field. Waving back on it is Nishikawa. He looks up, and it is gone. A home run for Hiromi Oka. It is a 2-run shot. As Leonis Martin will cross in front of him, that ball was absolutely scorched. And Oka has taken Kishi yard here in the second inning. And that is going to put the Marines up 2-0. That ball, it was absolutely blasted. We get the replay of that one. It was a 4-seam fastball that was right down the middle, and Oka made no doubt about it. And he made Kishi pay as he punished that one right into the left center field grandstand area. It almost looks like there's a picnic area out there. And that is going to put the Marines up 2-0 here in the top of the second. It's going to bring up Edney Hechavarria, who takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Hechavarria. Kishi goes back to work quickly and throws a pitch down low, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Hechavarria. Kishi rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side of home plate. The count now is 1-2. Alexander Leggett says, I don't want you to call a seagull stampede. Much like the Oryx Buffaloes the other night, there is a fastball swung on and grounded foul. The count's going to remain 1-2. Looking ahead for the NPB, trying to figure out our schedule, we will not be calling a game tomorrow night, which would be the Friday games in Japan, but we are going to call the Saturday games in Japan. And the game we will call will be these Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles again against the Saitama Cebu Lions. But then on Saturday night in North America, which would be the Sunday games in Japan, we will do the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. So here's the 2-2 pitch to Hechavarria. It's a fastball that misses down and away. The count now runs full to 3-2. So we are going to call the weekend games. We're not going to do any midweek stuff next week, as a lot of the games are later starts. But we are going to do the weekend stuff the week after that. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Hechavarria goes down on strikes for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to Ko Matsukawa. And we've got Kern Runner in here. He says he's got the over at 6. And at this point in time, that may not be a bad bet because there's already a couple of runs on the board, so you're a third of the way there. So here's Kishi ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's well into the seats, and the count is 0-1 to Matsukawa. So no balls and 1 strike. Matsukawa waggles the bat, and he waits on the offering from Kishi. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It's another beautiful day for baseball in Tohoku. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. That was a really long swing by Matsukawa. That fastball was on the outside corner of the plate. It looked like he wanted to pull that pitch, and he was way out in front. Here's the 1-2 from Kishi. It's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is now at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not only is it a great day for baseball in Tohoku, there's a breaking ball that swung on. It is grounded softly to short. Yamazaki fields it. He throws it over to first. And that is going to retire Matsukawa on a ground out 6-3 for out number 3 here in the second inning. But there was damage. The Chiba Lotte Marines had 2 runs. There was 1 hit. There was no errors and nobody left on base. The score after 1.5, it's Chiba 2, Tohoku nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple minutes after this. We're glad you guys could pop in and join us tonight. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check out his channel. He's quite the character.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in return, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out, and be sure to check out his new hairstyle. He just got it trimmed up this week. And here we go as we're ready to get back to the live action. It's going to be the heart of the Eagles batting order coming up to bat here in the second inning. It'll be Hiroki Shimouchi, Jose Marmolejos, and Fumiya Kurakawa to get things going against the right-hander Manabu Mima. So Mima pitching with a lead. As we said earlier, he's looking for his first win of the season. Chiba looking to put together a streak of their own here. And so here comes the first offering to Hiroki Shimouchi. Mima kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1. For Shimouchi on the season, he's batting .270, a couple of homers and 17 RBIs. We've got Gene Ju in the house here tonight, too. Welcome, Gene. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Shimouchi was one of the better hitters that the Eagles had in the playoffs last year. He's a very dangerous hitter. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly to short. It's fielded by Hechevarria over to first. And that will retire Shimouchi on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1 here in the second inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jose Marmolejos. For Marmolejos, he's batting .252 on the season. He's got 3 homers and 15 RBIs. He's really started to put it together. The AAA MVP last year in North America and former Seattle Mariner is starting to get his sea legs now here in Tohoku. He bats from the left side against the right-hander Mima, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Alexander Leggett says it's time to make way for Marmalade. Marmolejos definitely is looking like he's going to be a decent bat in the lineup. There's a fly ball that is lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder Dakabi. That's going to be an easy catch for out number 2. Marmolejos is gone for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to Fumiya Kurakawa. You have to think over the last couple of seasons, the Eagles really have not had the return on the offensive international or import players. Last year, Rusney Castillo, the former bust with the Boston Red Sox, I say bust because they'd thrown about $75 million his way. And he wasn't able to really stick in the big leagues. There's a breaking ball that drops into Kurakawa for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Fumiya Kurakawa batting .290 on the season with no homers and 1 RBI. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. And they also had Brandon Dixon, the former Detroit Tiger and Cincinnati Red, and he was also a problem last year. Couldn't really get on track. So this year here, bringing in Marmolejos, they also had Chris Gittins, who, when we were calling a game earlier this year, took a swing and separated his shoulder. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So I really don't know what his status is. He had to leave in the middle of the at-bat. He was absolutely in a whole host of trouble. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kurakawa. And here comes the 1-2 offering from Mima. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Kurakawa. Mima ready to make the offering. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. And the count is now 3-2. So sometimes when the players sign internationally and they come over, they have to pretty much produce quickly or they could be gone. But Marmolejos is looking like he's settling in nicely here. And you look at a guy like Brandon Laird on the other team, even though Brandon Laird is not really producing much this year. This is his 8th year in the NPB, 4 with the Fighters, and his 4th season with Chiba. He has earned some respect and he's earned some street credibility because he has produced some numbers. And here is a breaking ball that swung on. This ball is going to be grounded past the first baseman. into right field. Kurikawa is going to get himself a single. And he is aboard with 2 away here in the second inning, and that will bring up Ryosuke Tatsumi. For Tatsumi, he enters the fray tonight batting .250 with a couple of homers and 8 runs batted in. As we mentioned last year when we would call games, he was hitting early in the season in the leadoff spot, but he really declined fairly quickly. As we picked up the replay on that, they tried to backdoor Kurikawa at first base as he had overrun the bag. We got the replay. We didn't see that in the live view. So here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Tatsumi, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Tatsumi's a very athletic player. He really fills out that uniform. We say that because sometimes you look at players and you say, geez, I can't believe this guy plays baseball. But Tatsumi looks like he could do it all. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. He runs well enough. He is able to swing the bat decently. He fields his position pretty good. His arm is okay. It was better than okay. So we got Finesse AJ in the house here. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. If you look at the ticker that's running across the bottom of the screen, you will be able to see the score and the inning. Hope that helps. So here comes the 1-1 pitch to Tatsumi. And Mima throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Kurikawa. Mima keeping the runner close. I'd be surprised if he was off to the races here. Not sure if this is where the spot I would be running him. Obviously, although they would have Tatsumi to lead off, there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-1. Alexander says that Ryosuke Tatsumi is a bit of a dud, isn't he? Well, I'm not so sure about that. I think that he is a young player that is going to have to make some adjustments. When he first came into the NPB, and he is a young player, he's in his 4th season, there is a fastball swung on it, his line past the diving shortstop of Edney Hechavarria through the 6 hole, and he has got himself a base hit. So back-to-back 2-out singles here. The Eagles have something brewing, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Just to finish back on Tatsumi a little bit, his numbers over the first 3 seasons of his NPB career are eerily similar. And one would like to think that he's going to have to take a step here in this year, or he's 26. He's 25 years old. He'll be 26 after the season. And you always kind of look at players, especially hitters, when they get to the age of 25, and they start to get themselves a number of at-bats, as he's got 1,208 plate appearances, 1,039 at-bats coming into tonight's game. They start to define themselves at around 1,500. And there is a breaking ball that is swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder Takabe. He makes the catch. And on 1 pitch, Yamazaki is retired for out number 3. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, they threaten but they don't score. There was no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 2 complete. It is Chiba 2, Tohoku nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call of the top of the 3rd inning. We're glad you guys could pop in here tonight. And make sure you stick around for all the action. Here's our friend, Matt Hollis.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Those are the sweet sounds of Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. We'll be back in just a moment with the call of the top of the 3rd inning when we return. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're here in the top of the third inning. It is the top of the order coming up for the Chiba Lotte Marines. And as Takabe, Nakamura, and Sato, and the first pitch delivered to Takabe is swung on, it is lifted into right center field. Moving over to his right is Hiroki Shimouchi, and he's going to make the catch. So 1 up and 1 away here in the top of the third inning, and that is going to bring up Shogo Nakamura. So for Nakamura, he is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to left field his first time up. And that is one way for the right-hander Takeshi to keep his pitch count down. He was at 40 pitches through the first 2 innings. And the Marines come out hacking on the first pitch. That'll help limit the damage a little bit here. And the first pitch delivered to Nakamura is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kishi goes back to work. He delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Drake Nielsen is in the house tonight, and he asks where he can watch. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-2. Our friend Alexander Leggett, who's been in here, he usually gives some hints. So if you scroll up in the chat, he gives a couple of pieces of information. If you can't find it, then let us know, and then we can maybe help you out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Shimouchi. And Nakamura has got himself a 1-out single here in the third inning, and that is going to bring up Toshiya Sato. For Sato, he is 0 for 1 today. He grounded back over to the first baseman his first time up. His average entering tonight's game was .237. He's got no pop, no homers, and 11 runs batted in. So Sato's average has slipped to .235 with that first one. We've got Eli Alvarez subscribing to the channel. Welcome, Eli, and thank you for your support. We look forward to having you in future streams. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-1 to Sato. Sato getting the start at first base tonight. Last night, he was the catcher for Chiba. The big fella had himself a couple of knocks in the ball game. He had a single and a double last night, if you were with us. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep left field. But moving back on it in front of the warning track is Nishikawa. He's going to haul it in. And that is going to retire Sato for the second out of the inning. And with that 2 up, there's now 2 away, and that is going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Brandon Laird. For Laird, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He's got a couple of homers and 15 RBIs on the season. Laird's average has slipped to .203. So Kishi holds at the belt. And here comes the offering. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kishi looks in and gets the sign from his catcher, Simatani, and he's ready to go to work. Here comes the 1-0 offering. He kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Brandon Laird sure didn't like the call. You can often tell when hitters are not seeing the ball well. That pitch looked like it was maybe a 50-50 pitch. It was a decent job by the catcher to win that strike for his pitcher. But when hitters aren't swinging the bat well, you can also tell that they're not happy with the calls sometimes. But that was not a heinous pitch. We've seen some really nasty pitches. There's a fastball that comes inside for a called strike. Some good pitching here by Kishi, moving the ball inside and outside on the hitter. Had a little bit of backdoor run on it to catch that corner. Money Mitch comes in and says, stream? What kind of stream? Well, if you want the stream there, Money Mitch, you can scroll up in the chat. Alexander Leggett had given some information earlier of where you can actually watch this. We don't post the links. We can tell you where to look. We don't want to get shut down. This is a live commentary, a watch party, and we're glad you can pop in here with us. So that was a breaking ball that missed down and outside to Laird, and the count is 2-2. A lot of people, what they'll do is they will link up our stream for the English version while they're watching the ball game. They fire over to first base. Does the pitcher Kishi diving back in time as the base runner Nakamura. So Makako Garkovo asks the question. He says, how does 6.5 runs sound? 6.5 runs sounds a little dicey to me. I think the 6 earlier on sounded pretty good, or was it 5.5? But 6.5, I'm not sure. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Laird. The right-hander Kishi ready to go back to work. Here comes the payoff pitch. The runner is going to be in motion as he delivers to the plate. And Kishi kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to third. It's fielded by Kurakawa over to first, and that is going to do it. Brandon Laird's going to be mad at himself as he did swing at ball 4. And that is a nice play by the third baseman to retire Laird for the third out of the inning. So for Chiba in their half of the inning, they had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 2.5. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 2, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call. At the bottom of the third inning, here is our friend Steve again.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for checking out Last Wraps. We had some winners in last month's mystery pack giveaway. The names right here, and maybe here are the winners. Make sure you are following the instructions on our other video to qualify this month for a pack of mystery cards from Zero Fox Sports Cards. Thanks for checking it out. Enjoy the ball game.
Appreciate you, Dave, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support our friend Dave at Zero Fox Sports. Make sure you go check out his channel, and he's got another entry for you to be able to win some mystery pack giveaways. And so here we go. We've got the bottom of the third inning coming up. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters up for the Eagles. Jinjiro Simatani, it'll be Hiroki Nishikawa and Daichi Suzuki to face the right-hander Manabu Mima. And the first pitch from Mima is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Simatani on the season is batting .234. He's got a homer and 8 runs batted in. And here comes the pitch from Mima. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Marines tonight are wearing, again, their black tops with the white pinstripes. They've got the white pants. The Eagles are in their home whites again with the maroon and gold trim. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side, and the count is 1-2 to Simatani. Jarvis, if we posted the link, we would get in trouble, and we got a chance to get tossed out of here. So you have to follow the pathway, which he does give to Rob earlier on, so that'll help you out. There's a fastball that is swung on, and it is lifted foul down the right field line. It is going to reach the seats as Leonis Martin runs out of real estate in foul territory. And it is going to reach the school children in right field as one of the boys gets the ball. There's a large school crowd in attendance tonight. So that's going to run the count to 1-2 to Simatani. Money Mitch is helping you out there, Jarvis. Troy Troll says Chiba again. Yeah, Chiba's got that lead up here on the Eagles. It's their turn to get hot, and the Eagles' turn to cool off a little bit. The Eagles were playing some great baseball. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to the second baseman. It's fielded neatly by Nakamura. He throws to first. And that is going to be a ground out 4-3 for out number 1 here in the third inning. And that's going to bring up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. Alexander Leggett says, yeah, it's kind of funny how many school kids are in the crowd. That's kind of like in a lot of major league parks. I know, and certainly in Seattle and Detroit, they like to be able to do some of that stuff. So it looks like Jarvis is going to need some help here, boys. If you want to help him out, Money Mitch, some of those things, maybe give him a little bit of tips or information. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ishikawa tonight is 0-1. He struck out to get things going in the first inning for the Eagles. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Mima ready to go back to work. Here comes the 1-1 offering. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted down the left field line, and it is going to reach the seats out of the racing feet of Akito Takabe. And that's going to run the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned earlier, we are going to be back on the air doing the NPB games on the weekend. So hopefully you can jump in and join us. It'll be Friday night, North American time, or the Saturday games, and also the Saturday night North American time for the Sunday games. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the stands beyond the Eagles dugout. It's going to keep the count at 1-2 to Nishikawa. So hopefully you guys can pop in for that as well. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Daichi Suzuki is waiting his turn on deck. As we said, we'll call those games there. There is a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped slowly back to the pitcher. Mima fields it. He throws to first. That is going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out 1-3. One thing I will say about that play is that Mima has a ton of time. And just the way that he flips it over to first base is so casual. I always have a bit of concern to that. Very flat-footed. Is not able to really put anything behind the ball. But he does get the out, and that's what's really important. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. And the first pitch to Suzuki is a breaking ball that bounces up to the plate, and the count is 1-0. Alexander Leggett says, for once, his stream is ahead of mine for now. We've had some pretty good streaming going on here. So 1 ball and no strikes to Suzuki. Mima kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. AJ wanted to know how many runs were scored in the second inning. Chiba got both of their runs in the second. And that has been where the scoring has stopped and or started and stopped. Here comes the 1-1 offering from Mima. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and tap foul behind home plate. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Every once in a while, we get the questionable or what I would call dicey internet type of streams. You never always know about some of that stuff, and that's just the way it goes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And so sometimes it gets choppy or it gets delayed. That's the beauty of technology. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined through the 6-hole into left field. And Daichi Suzuki is aboard with a 2-out single here in the third inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. For Asamura, he is 0-1 tonight. He grounded out to third to end the first inning. Every time Asamura steps to the plate these last couple of days, just looks like he means business. As we mentioned, he has got 6 homers and 27 runs batted in on the season. Looks like he's back to his form from the 2020 campaign. Our friend Troy Troll says, our Tigers are looking rough this year. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses outside to Asimura, and the count is 1-0. Well, the good news is that the Detroit Tigers are probably going to have to, if you're a Tiger fan, you're probably going to have to resort to other things like having a few beers to kill that pain. I've got a good story for you, Troy, on that one from a few years ago. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. So Troy Troll says he lives north of Detroit in Michigan. He's a Detroit Tiger fan. Back in I would say it would have been about 1994 or 95. At Old Tiger Stadium, I used to go across to the games. There was a fastball swung on it as lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. And that's going to run the count to 1-2 strikes. So if you're familiar with the Metro Detroit area, downriver, there's a place called Monroe. There's Brownstown. There's Taylor. There's all kinds of stuff when you're going I-75 south toward Ohio. And myself and a few friends, we went out to a sports bar one night off of Eureka Road in Detroit. I'll tell the story as we carry on here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Asimura. Yima delivers. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Asimura, and it's going to put my story on hold here till the next inning. So there was no runs in the inning. There was one hit. There were no errors and one runner left aboard. We are now through 3 complete innings. It is Chiba 2 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. I can share that story with you. We're glad you're with us. Here is our friend Dave again, showing up all over the place.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero O'Clock Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 4th inning. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for Chiba. That means it's going to be Hisanori Yasuda, Leonis Martin, and Hiromi Oka to face the right-hander Takayuki Kishi. Started telling the story in the last inning about heading downriver in just outside of Detroit, Michigan. When you're down I-75, they'll refer to that as downriver. And we ended up going to a sports bar, and we were in the bar, and we had a trivia contest. And I ended up answering the first trivia question right, so I ended up getting 2 free tickets to see the Detroit Tigers play. There's a first pitch that is a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yasuda. Yasuda tonight is 0 for 1. He is flown out to left field his first time up. Kishi rocks into motion. He kicks and fires. There's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. So we're playing these video games and, doing what young guys do. This is probably in the mid to late 90s. There's the 1-1 pitch. There is a changeup taken for a called strike. And the count is 1-2. So 1-2 strikes to Yasuda. So as it turns out, what ends up happening is we're able to get these free tickets. And I ended up getting about, maybe 6 free tickets to the Tigers. It was sponsored by Budweiser, and there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow center field. Camping out underneath it is Tatsumi. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Yasuda for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring us Leonis Martin. But it gets better, Troy. So what happens is that every game that you would go to, you would get 2 more free tickets for a future game. So I had this pass. I had all these free tickets, and I just kept going and kept getting the free tickets. And it was all the pizza and beer you could drink before the game. So we would go and literally have our dinner as university students. We would go have our pizza, have our beer. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Leonis Martin that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So we would go to the game, and the Tigers were okay. They weren't as bad as they were in the early 2000s. So we would go get our free pizza, free beer, get ourselves loaded up, and then we'd go watch 9 innings of baseball. We were doing that literally a couple of times a week when they were in their homestands. And there's a breaking ball that swung on. Its tap foul over on the first base side, and that runs the count now to 0-2 on Martin. So it was good times. And of course, these days, the Tigers, when you watch them play, boy, a lot of empty seats. And pretty much at that time, we would get the reserve seats in the upper deck, but you could pretty much move around to anywhere. As long as you're in the reserve seating and not the box, you're as good as gold. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. So we want to make sure we give thanks to Budweiser and to Little Caesars Pizza for supplying us all the food, because that was a lot of fun when that time. That's going back over 25 years ago now. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to Leonis Martin. Kishi rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kishi has this bright blue glove that just pops off of all the other stuff that they've got on. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the line in right field. If it stays fair, it's trouble, and it does. It's off the wall. It's fielded by the right fielder, Shimochi. He throws into second, but it scoots away from the shortstop. Martin slides in safely with a double, and that is going to be the first hit for Martin tonight, as he is now on second with 1 away, and that will bring up Hiromi Oka. Troy says he remembers the early 2010s attendance were through the roof. That was when they started to have the better teams. I'd moved out of the area around that time, so I was stuck watching the early 2000s, which was an absolute tire fire in Detroit. So Hiromi Oka steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He homered and knocked in the 2 runs that the Marines have scored. So here comes the first offering from Kishi. He checks Martin at second. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball half swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the first base side, and the count is 0-1. Troy says no one wants to support that product. They're almost as bad as the Lions are now. Well, the Detroit Red Wings had a funk as well. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the 0-1 offering to Oka. Martin is causing a little bit of concern at second. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I will say this. I like everything Detroit, but I'm not a Red Wings fan. I absolutely despise the Red Wings. But I have to say, if anybody is listening here and you're in that Detroit area, make sure you get the Little Caesars Arena. Their hot dogs are really, really good. It's like old Tiger Stadium hot dogs. There's a breaking ball swung on it, missed. And the count is 1-2. So if you like your hot dogs, if you like your good ballpark food or arena food, the hot dogs at Little Caesars Arena are something to get. There is a breaking ball that obviously was swung on and missed, and so the count is 1-2 on Oka. Alexander Leggett says, you despise the Red Wings? Can't stand them. There's the 1-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 1-2. The biggest thing and the reason for that hatred towards the Red Wings, when I was a young kid growing up, the Red Wings had that same philosophy that Bill Wirtz and the Chicago Blackhawks had. They never put the games on local TV, so you could never watch them play. And so everybody where we were at, we were watching the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Montreal Canadiens. There is a fastball swung on its tap foul over to the third base side, and it keeps the count at 1-2 to Oka. So that was unfortunate because you lost a lot of fans that way, and we'd hardly go to the games, whether it be the Olympia or the Joe Louis Arena. And of course, the Red Wings were really bad at that time. That was pre-Steve Yzerman. Even the early Steve Yzerman era, it was not exactly the best hockey. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. And there is a Breaking ball that's outside. It is swung on by the batter Oka, and he is going to be retired on a put out 2-3. And he has gone for out number 2. He waved at the pitch. The home plate umpire said he'd went. And as the catcher went to tag him, he started to run away, and then they had to put the put out at 2-3, and that's going to bring up Edney Hechevarria. Alexander Leggett says, I feel that the national games are always, I can't watch this game because it's a cable exclusive. I'm not a really big fan of what they're doing at Major League Baseball, where they're having the Apple exclusive games right now. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. When you pay for your package, I expect the whole package, not the 65% of the package or 87% of the package. So 1 ball and no strikes to Hechevarria. The runner at second is Martin. There is 2 away here in the top of the 4th. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line. And the count goes even to 1-1. The stadium Tohoku in Tohoku is one that I have not been to, but I'd love to be able to get there. The Ferris wheel in left field kind of adds an interesting ambiance to the park. I'd love to be able to get there in the next couple of years. So here comes the 1-1 offering. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Hechevarria. I've seen a few of those stadiums in Japan. A couple of them I have been inside. A couple of them I have not been. Living Room says, Last Raps and Claude Lemieux are best friends, confirmed. Troy says he looked it up. The Ferris wheel is pretty cool. One thing, and I should probably incorporate it in one of the commercial videos, or I don't call them commercials, or infomercials. We don't get compensated for our commercials here at this point. But one of the things that I'd like to do is maybe to show the roller coaster outside of the Tokyo Dome. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 2-2. I got a pretty cool video of the roller coaster. Even in that park, it's right beside it. So when you get to the Tokyo Dome, you've got the dome itself, and then you've got all this other stuff going on around it. There's a mall and crosswalk, and it's kind of neat, just the way that they've structured it. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Hechevarria. And Kishi delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted down the left field line. It's fair. It's into the corner. That is going to score Leonis Martin. Digging for 2 is Hechevarria. And he is going to cruise safely into second with a stand-up double. And that is an RBI double for Hechevarria. And after me earlier criticizing about the import players not doing a whole lot so far, Martin and Hechevarria are getting the job done here tonight. That is an RBI double for Hechevarria, and that's going to bring up Ko Matsukawa. For Troy, he asked the question, how many teams are in the NPB? There's 6 teams in the Pacific League, 6 teams in the Central League. And the question is, how many make the playoffs? Last year, it was the top team in each division got a bye. And then the second and third teams would have a playoff. The winner of that series would go on to play the winner of the league, and then they would go and play the Japan series, which the winner of the Central League and winner of the Pacific League would go head-to-head against each other. So here is the catcher, Ko Matsukawa, and the first pitch delivered to him as a fastball swung on. It is lined into center field. Coming hard is Tatsumi. He makes the grab, and that is going to do it here for the 3rd out of the inning. But there is damage done here in the 4th. It is 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 3.5. It is Chiba 3 and Tohoku nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a minute. Troy has pronounced the Eagles dead. I don't think so. I think they're just resting right now. Hold tight, everybody. We will be right back.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff, or other sports. We have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We are cruising to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's going to be the Heart of the Eagle batting order coming up to bat. That means Hiroki Shimauchi, Jose Marmoleos, and Fumiya Kurakawa. And they will be ready to face the right-hander Manabu Mima, who has cruised through the first three innings. Our friend Troy says 12 teams isn't a lot compared to the MLB. There was expansion talk prior to the pandemic. I can't remember where the second team was going to go, but one of the teams was going to go to Okinawa. They were going to be called the Blue Ocean, because a lot of the teams in Japan do their, I shouldn't say a lot, I'd say about half the teams do their spring training in Okinawa. There's a breaking ball delivered for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Shimauchi. So Shimauchi today is 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is grounded through the four-hole into right field for a base hit. And Shimauchi is aboard with a leadoff single here in the fourth, and this might be the Eagles starting to flap their wings, as this is going to bring up Jose Marmoleos. So Marmoleos steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He flew up to left field his first time up. So Shimauchi aboard with the single, and Marmoleos coming to the plate. So I was saying about the 12 teams. So they were looking to expand to 14 teams, and maybe even beyond. And Troy says, did they run the shift in the NPB? Not like the Toronto Blue Jays were doing today against the New York Yankees. That was absolutely disgusting. There is a first pitch fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second for 1, back to first, and it's a double play, a twin killing, as Marmoleos grounds into the 4-6-3 variety. Not a very good swing on the first pitch that he sees. And that is going to retire Shimauchi at second, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Fumiya Kurakawa. So do they shift in the NPB? Not typically. I have seen the Saitama Cebu Lions do it a little bit, but they've been shading to sides, maybe moving guys more up the middle. But they are one of the few teams, at least in the Pacific League, that does that. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. When I watched that Blue Jays-Yankees game today, the Yankees won the game. But boy, oh boy, what a bunch of bonehead mistakes that the Blue Jays made. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. I started talking about that a little bit earlier today. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. There's a former big leaguer. His name is Kevin Barker. And sometimes he's on the network up in Canada called Sportsnet, or when the Blue Jays are doing their games. And Kevin Barker, what he likes to talk about is, the Blue Jays, gives you the insight. There's a breaking ball outside to Kurakawa. The count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Anyways, Barker was asked before the season started who he thought was going to win the American League East. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 2-2. And so what happened was, as Barker said, in his opinion, this is again before the season started, that he thought that the Red Sox, the Rays, the Yankees, and the Jays, there was no difference between the 4 teams. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field, and it's going to be hauled in by the center fielder, Oka, and that is going to retire Kurakawa for the third out of the inning. There was no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. And we are now through 4. It is 3-0 for Chiba. I'm going to continue with that story in just a couple minutes when I get back. It is 3-0, but hold tight, everybody. I'll share that with you about Kevin Barker, what he had to say about the Jays, the Rays, the Sox, and the Yankees. Here's our friend Steve again with his new haircut.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching The Last Raps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Raps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel, and in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. It is going to be the top of the order coming up here in the fifth inning. That means Takabe, Nakamura, and Sato to face the right-hander Kishi, who is on for his fifth inning of work. Here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that messes up and in. The count is 1-0. I was starting to tell the story about what Barker talking about no difference between those four teams, but what he did say was going to be the determining factor. And there's a fastball that comes in at the knees and gets Takabe for a 1-1 count. He said what's going to happen is how the team is going to win the division are the things that you don't see in the box score. What shows up in the box score is going to determine this. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded by Asamura. He throws to first, and Takabe is retired. And he ground out 4-3 for out number 1. So I'm going to give you an example of that in today's game. In today's game, Alejandro Kirk, the catcher for the Blue Jays, was on first base. And it was a ground ball to the shortstop, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. There was 2 out. And he goes in, sliding in. And as he slides in, well, actually, he didn't go sliding in. He went in standing up. And he went in standing up in the bases. And he went awkwardly over the base, and they tagged him out. If he would have actually slid, he would have been safe. But because he went in standing up, he ended up rolling his ankle, coming off the base, and they tagged him out. And as I'm telling you this, I'm watching my own TV and seeing the replay there. Absolute boneheaded decision that a major league player is not going to slide into the base. Well, that ended up being the 3rd out of the inning. But again, you're getting a second chance opportunity if you're safe. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakamura as I'm telling you the story as he had fouled off a pitch down the third baseline. And here comes the 1-1. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So that was the one thing. The other one was Bo Bichette was on second base. And there was a pass ball that got through the catcher, and he gave up on the pitch at second base, and he just started going back to the bag. There was a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Backing up on it is Tatsumi. He makes the catch. And there are 2 away now here in the 5th inning, and that's going to leave it up to Toshiya Sato. So as I was telling you the story, the frustrating part is just the fundamental mistakes that the Blue Jays are making. And so when I think of that analysis by Kevin Barker, where he says the team that will do the things that won't show up in the box score, I think of it's probably the Tampa Bay Rays who are going to win that division when it's all said and done. There's a fastball swung on by Sato. It's grounded over to second. Asamura fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Sato on a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. That was a pretty quick inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. I could barely get my story in that time. The Chiba Lotte Marines are finished in their half of the 5th. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is a 3-0 game for Chiba. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. Glad you guys could be here with us tonight. We're having a great night. Have a great night at your end, too. Here's our friend Steve again. Check out his stuff after the game.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers, and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And it is going to be the bottom of the fifth inning. We're going to see the bottom third of the Eagles batting order coming up to face Manabu Mima. It'll be Ryosuke Tatsumi, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki, and Jinjiro Sumitani. So 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order coming up to face the right-hander. And Mima has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one back underway. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Be sure to bookmark us, as we will be back on the air again for the weekend here when the Japanese games continue on. We are going to take tomorrow night off. So here comes the first offering to Tatsumi. It's a breaking ball he takes for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We do appreciate everybody being in here tonight. We got Mr. Cap in the house. He says, "Let's go Eagles." Thank you for joining us. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. And the count now goes to 0-2 on Tatsumi. Our friend Makaku Garcavo says, not the first time the Blue Jays looked so bad this season. Yeah, it is unfortunate. The Blue Jays are really playing. It's really the first time actually I've watched them extendedly. I get a lot of replays and a lot of highlights of them. To actually watch them play was a little bit painful today. And speaking of which, I mean, I look at the New York Yankees. I mean, you got to tip your hat to them how they're playing right now, but I'm really not a fan of that ball club. They're 22-8, but boy, oh boy, they just do not excite me. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is now to Tatsumi as the last pitch was in the dirt. So here's the 1-2. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled off into the foot of Tatsumi, and the count remains at 1-2. Troy still thinks the Eagles are dead. Well, once we get into the bullpen, it'll be interesting because last night the Marines used some of their better relievers to close it off. I would assume they'll probably go back to the same method again. But we'll have to see, depending how far Mima can go. Mima's only at 55 pitches here in the 5th inning. He's probably got a lot of room left in the tank. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. They will have their back end of their bullpen rested from the night before. We didn't see Matsui or Sung. I don't think Sung pitched last night. So here comes the 2-2. And there is a split finger pitch that misses down. The count is now 3-2 to Tatsumi. Mr. Cap says it ain't over till it's over. He's got that right. And Troy says he's heading to bed. He's got to wake up in time to watch the Tigers. We'll be back on tomorrow. We're actually going to call that game tomorrow. Hopefully, we won't have to get Bacardi as a sponsor to help us kill the pain in watching it. So we will be back again. So hopefully, Troy, you'll jump into the stream with us in the morning. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses low, and Tatsumi has got himself a leadoff walk here in the 5th. And he has a board here with the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki, stepping up to the plate. Yep, I'm going to be doing tomorrow's game as well. So hopefully you can pop in. Alexander Leggett says, laughing out loud about Bacardi. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff we might want to continue to try to kill the pain with if you're watching the Tigers and the Athletics. Well, I brought him luck the other day. I called the first game of that doubleheader. We got the Tigers a win. So hopefully we can do that again tomorrow, because they've had a lot of pain in that series after that victory in game 1 of the doubleheader, where they were actually the visiting team. That's the amazing part. So Mima throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Tatsumi. So Yamazaki at the plate. I wonder if I'm the Eagles right now, why I may not consider playing for 1 run. They do like to bunt a lot in the Japanese league, and Yamazaki's been stinking it up at the plate. Apologize to the Eagle fans, but that's the reality. And he does square to bunt. He pitches down, and he takes it for a ball, and the count is 1-0. There's no sense in letting Yamazaki swing the bat when he's taken it out of his own hands, so you might as well drop some bunts down. So 1 ball and no strikes to Yamazaki. Tatsumi is the runner at first. And Raymond is in the house. Raymond Burnett, that is. He's got the under 6.5. He's asking, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. There is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0 to Yamazaki. I don't know if I would take the under on 6.5 in this one. Kishi, the starter for the Eagles, has probably got about another inning left in him. And he's about to exit this game. Although Mima has pitched really, really well. And he's very economical. He's only at 60 pitches here in the 5th inning. Rose City Floor Hockey says, if you want Bacardi as a sponsor, you better have that Sam Bernstein money. Only if we have a slip and fall case. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. For those of you who don't know, that's Sam Bernstein is a Detroit lawyer. He's kind of famous for slip and falls. He's got a toll-free 800 number. That's 1-800-CALL-SAM, I think it is. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And again, they throw over to first base. And again, diving back in time is the base runner, Tatsumi. So we got all kinds of inside Detroit jokes going on in here tonight. So for those of you who are not in there, we'll try to enlighten you on it. It's kind of like the Journey song where they talk about South Detroit. The only South Detroit I know is the city of Windsor. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. This ball is going to get down. It's up against the wall. Digging for 3 is Tatsumi. He's rounding third. He's heading home. And the Eagles are going to be on the board. And sliding in safely into third is Yamazaki with a triple. He's got himself an RBI. And our friend Troy Trolls, if he's already left, he may want to wake himself back up because the Eagles are not dead yet. They are, in fact, flapping their wings. And our friend Raymond taking that under 6.5 is probably not a wise decision, as that is now the 4th run of the ball game here. And that is going to bring up Jinjiro Simatani. So Simatani is coming up to the plate, and we got Sebastian Hunter in here and Mr. Cap pumping their fists. We welcome everybody here. Winner Maid is here too. Thanks for checking in, guys. We're glad you are all here tonight. So Yamazaki, the runner at third with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Jinjiro Simatani to the plate. So the Eagles have something brewing here. You got to get at least 1 more run here. Getting a crooked number up on the board would be a good thing for the Eagles. And here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. The appeal over to the first base umpire, but they said Simatani went, and that is going to be a strike. The count is 0-1. Winner Maid says he needs 1 more run in the 5th. Well, you're in a good position with nobody out and a runner on third. Now, the Marines are playing the infield in, so they're going to look to cut a runner off at the plate. So let's see what happens here. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that is in the other batter's box, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Simatani. After this half inning, it'll be what we like to call the proverbial Japanese halftime. That's where they come out and clean the field and get it all set up for the second half of the ball game. We will take a little extended break to get ourselves another cup of tea, but no Bacardi tonight. So the runner at third is Yamazaki, and there is a breaking ball that's down, and the count now goes to 2-1 to Simatani. Raymond says the Japanese play 7 innings. Nope, they play 9. Only the softball plays 7. Japanese play the full 9, although they don't go beyond 12 innings of extra innings. So games could end in a tie. So here comes the 2 ball and 1 strike pitch to Simatani. Mima kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses in, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Raymond now asks the question, why did I take the under 6.5? Well, I'm not so sure that was particularly a great call early on. I didn't think that would have held up, and I don't know if it's going to hold up here through the 5th. But you never know. Here comes the 3-1, and it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly to the shortstop, Echeverria. He checks the runner back to third. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Simitani. It goes down as a ground out, 6-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. Winner Maid says, I was saying the same thing when I took the over at 4.5 in 5 innings. Mr. Cap says fatigue is setting in for the Marines pitcher. The one thing I have to say is sometimes I can look at the velocities and you can see that a little bit. But I haven't really marked down what Mima was throwing in the first inning and to where he's at now. Sometimes the pitchers will lose that. He hasn't really elevated his pitches. He seems to be keeping them down in the zone. But he is going through the order for the 3rd time now as Nishikawa steps to the plate. And here's the first offering to Nishikawa. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nishikawa today is 0 for 2. He struck out in the first and grounded back to the pitcher. The infield is still in for the Marines as they want to try to cut the run off at the plate. So 1 ball and no strikes. There is 1 away here in the 5th inning, and there's a fastball that's all the way to the backstop, and that is going to get a run in as Yamazaki has scored. That is going to go down as a wild pitch. That thing was absolutely sailed. The catcher, Matsukawa, had no chance to catch it, not even with a stepladder. And now it is a 2-0, or it's a 3-2 ball game here. And the count is now 2-0 to Nishikawa. Actually, it may not go as a wild pitch. It did deflect off the glove, so we'll have to get the official score on that. Sometimes the official scores can be quite tight. I personally would call it a wild pitch, but you never know how the scorer will officially do it. So Nishikawa has got a 2-0 count, and the score line is now 3-2. So for all the bettors that are here, Hobby Hound is in here. And there is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 2-1. Sebastian Hunter says, are there fans in the stadium? It is a pretty good crowd today. I think it's a much better crowd than yesterday. And here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it's a fastball that misses upstairs. That is going to run the count to 3-1. Kern Runner says, how did they get the run home? It was a wild pitch. The ball went all the way to the backstop, and that is how they got the second run home. There's still 1 away here. There's nobody on base. It is a 3-1 count to Nishikawa. Mima holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-2. Breathe Deep is in the house. He says it's possible to watch his stream somewhere. You're going to have to scroll up Breathe Deep. Take a look for Alexander Leggett's comments earlier on. There's no direct link, but you can go and find it. We don't post the links in here. They'll get us shut down. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. He waits from the offering from Mima. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Nishikawa is retired on strikes for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Hobby Sound says, best announcer on YouTube. I don't know about that. Certainly not the best looking announcer. But we do our best over here as what we can. We got the radio voice. It is the face for radio for sure. So 2 away for Nishikawa. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Suzuki today is 1 for 2. He's got a single, and he's flown up to center field. And he has asked for time as Mima is working a little too quickly for his liking. And Alexander Leggett says the only announcer probably for the NPB. We used to have a fellow come into the chat. He'll probably join us for the interleague games because we'll call those late night games in another couple of weeks. There's a fastball that misses down and away to Suzuki. His name is Ben Roberts. Ben was saying that the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles a few years ago used to have English announcers. But apparently they were absolutely brutal. And apparently they're not doing them anymore. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So I know from my own time when I was coaching in Edmonton, we had some people that were calling the games in Edmonton, and my folks would listen in. And my folks were saying it was absolutely terrible. They almost had to watch the game on mute. So 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the offering from Mima. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. I see Sebastian Hunter is subscribed to the channel, and I want to thank you for that. We appreciate you and your support. So hopefully you'll join us again this weekend when we do the Saturday and Sunday games from Japan. So here's the 2-1 offering. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly to second. It's fielded by Nakamura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Suzuki on a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. But there was damage done in the inning. The Eagles scored 2 runs. They had 1 hit. There was no errors and nobody left the board. After 5, it is now 3-2 for Chiba. Stick around, everybody. We will be back in just a couple moments with the call. Top of the 6th inning, it is the proverbial Japanese halftime. We'll be right back with some of these messages from our friends. Here's Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Matt. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll give you guys a look at the Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard. But we're glad you guys are with us here tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to take a look at the Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard. I didn't get a chance to see all the stuff tonight, so we'll give you the recaps on what I do know. It was a skunking in Detroit. The Oakland Athletics pounded the Tigers 9-0 today. 9-11-0 for the Athletics. 0-7-0 for the Tigers. Logue Guts the win. He's 2-1 now for the A's. Joey Wentz in his Major League debut takes the loss. He drops to 0-1. The Pittsburgh Pirates knocked off the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-3 today. 5-8-1 for the Pirates. 3-5-0 for the Dodgers. Crow got the win. He's 2-2. Hudson takes the loss for the Dodgers. He's 1-2. Bednar picks up his 5th save. Pirates improved to 13-17 on the season. A lot better than I would have put them at this time of the year. Yankees beat the Blue Jays 5-3 today. Jameson Taillon gets his 3rd win of the season against 1 defeat. Jose Barrios takes the loss. He's 2-2. Aroldis Chapman got his 8th save. It was the Gleyber Torres show offensively today. He hit a home run and knocked in all 5 Yankee runs as they go on to beat the Blue Jays 5-3. The Cincinnati Reds pounded out 14 runs today. They knocked off the Milwaukee Brewers 14-11, 14-14-0 for the Reds, 11-15-2 for the Brew Crew. Diaz gets the win. Hauser takes the loss. Christian Yelich hits for the cycle, the 3rd time in his career he hit for the cycle, and I believe all 3 times have come against the Reds. The Philadelphia Phillies knocked off the Seattle Mariners on getaway day in Seattle. Sir Anthony Dominguez gets the win. He goes to 2-1. Logan Gilbert gets his first loss of the season. He drops to 4-1. Corey Knebel gets his 6th save. The Marlins beat the Diamondbacks 11-3. Bass got the win in relief. Melanson takes the loss. He drops to 0-4. The San Francisco Giants beat the Rockies today 7-1. Alex Cobb got the win. He goes to 2-1. Chad Kuhl takes the loss. He's now 3-1. The Chicago Cubs knocked off the Padres today 7-5. Michael Givens 2-0 gets the win. He's now 2-0. Garcia takes the loss for the Padres. And Rowan Wick picks up his 2nd save of the season. The Washington Nationals beat the New York Mets 8-3. Anibal Sanchez got the win. McGill takes the loss. The Nationals improved to 11-21 on the season. The Mets are 21-11. The numbers are opposite of each other. After getting no hit yesterday, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Los Angeles Angels 4-2. JP Friesen gets the win. Aaron Loop the loss. And Brooks Raleigh gets the save. The Rays are now 19-13 on the season. That game went 10 innings. The Boston Red Sox lost to the Atlanta Braves 5-3 today. Kenley Jansen got the win. Brasier takes the loss. And it was the final 5-3 for the Braves. The Red Sox are stumbling. The St. Louis Cardinals beat the Baltimore Orioles 10-1 today. It was Miles Mikolas, or Michaelis, depending on how you say it, got the win. He's 3-1. The former Yomiuri Giant is rolling this season. Watkins takes the loss for the Orioles. He is 0-1. The other game that was a final, the Kansas City Royals beat the Texas Rangers 8-2. Joel Payamps gets the win. He's 1-1. Colby Allard the loss. He's 0-2. The other game is in the top of the 4th. It was suspended. The Astros and the Twins. It was a 5-1 game for the Astros. The other game between the Guardians and White Sox was postponed. They cited COVID-19. I don't have the details on that. There is your Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard. And these 2 teams are ready to get this one going here as the top of the 6th is about ready to happen. And we're bringing you all the action. So it's going to be the heart of the batting order for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It means Brandon Laird, Hisanori Yasuda, and Leonis Martin to get things going against the right-hander Takayuki Kishi, who is still in the ballgame. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We're glad you guys could pop into the stream. Remember, mark your calendars. We are going to be back on the weekend again. And hopefully you'll be here with us to join in all the NPB action. If you're looking for Major League Baseball, get up again tomorrow morning. If you're on the Pacific Coast, if you're on the East Coast, we are going to be calling the game between the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. And hopefully you guys can pop in here with us. So here we go. It is going to be Brandon Laird to get things going here in the 6th inning. It's a 3-2 ball game. I'll update my ticker on the in-between. Laird is 0 for 2 tonight. Here's the first pitch from Kishi. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1. So Brandon Laird has struck out and grounded out. The former first-round pick of the New York Yankees has really struggled this season. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is cued foul down the first base line. It is fielded by Suzuki. That is going to run the count now to 0-2. Just as we update our ticker, it is 3-2 for the Marines in the top of the 6th inning. So Winner Made says he's now taken the over. And Alaska 019 says it is over at 7.5. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Laird. Brandon Laird is the younger brother to Gerald Laird, who had a very lengthy major league career. He played with a number of teams. He was a longtime catcher. He was with the Braves. He was with the Tigers. He was with a host of organizations. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. But Brandon Laird actually didn't make his major league debut until he got to the Houston Astros organization. He spent a couple of years there before heading out of Dodge and making a 8-year career in the NPB. There's a breaking ball that is swung on. It's popped up. It's lifted behind second base. Moving over underneath it is Hideto Asamura. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Laird for the first out of the inning. It's going to be a pop-up to 4 for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Hisanori Yasuda. For Yasuda tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's flown to left and flown to center in his 2 trips to the plate. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into right center field. It's going to get down. Hiroki Shimochi fields it. He's going to fire it back in, and Yasuda's got a 1-out single, as Chiba now has got something going here in the 6th inning, and that will bring up Leonis Martin. For Leonis Martin, he has been on base twice tonight, and he has scored twice tonight. He walked and scored a run back in the 2nd inning, and he doubled and scored a run in the 4th. Martin is in the midst of a really disastrous slump. He entered the ball game tonight hitting .131. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Kishi. And it looks like they're going to try to pound him inside. Here's the first pitch fastball. It is swung on. It is popped up behind second base. Moving over underneath it is the shortstop Yamazaki. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Martin on 1 pitch. He is out for number 2 here in the 6th inning, and that is going to bring up the center fielder Hiromi Oka. So football's finest in the house here. He says, Rakuten, any good? Well, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles had their 11-game win streak snapped last night by Chiba, and they are in first place in the Pacific League, so they must be doing something right. So here comes the first offering to Hiromi Oka. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. For Oka tonight, he homered back in the 2nd inning. It was a 2-run shot. He's also struck out tonight. He is officially 1 for 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or check that. 1 ball and no strikes. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. It's a good question for some of the others in the chat. There are a few people that are in here that have been betting on stuff. A lot of people tonight looks like has been the over and unders. Winner Made says the 7.5 sounds like it's in play. He's not sure about the bullpens. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. Jessica says taking overs in baseball is very stressful. And I would agree with some of that there. Thanks for stopping in tonight, Jessica. We're glad you could join us. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oka. The runner at first is Yasuda. There's 2 away here. And here comes the offering from Kishi. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats, and that's going to keep the count at 1-2. Our football's finest asks if we are Canadian, and that would be yes. The answer is correct. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oka. So Kishi ready to go back to work. Here comes the 1-2 offering. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Coming hard is Nishikawa, and it's going to get down in front of him. Digging for third is the base runner, Yasuda, and he's going to be thrown out by a country mile. He is going to be retired 7-5 for the 3rd out of the inning. I don't know what he was doing. The ball was right in front of him. He had to make that decision to go. So a single by Oka is wasted. Would have sent up runners at first and second, and that is going to do it here for Chiba. You never want to make the 3rd out at 3rd. That's a cardinal sin. But that is what happened here to the Marines in their half of the sixth. So they had no runs on 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left on base. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning. We're glad you guys could be here. Here is another one of our Japanese Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back in about 30 seconds with the call. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. We got lots of action still to go. It's a 3-2 ball game. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Tohoku batting order. That means Hideto Asamura, Hiroki Shimochi, and Jose Marmolejos to come to bat here to face Manabu Mima. And the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Asamura take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Asamura tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to third and struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. Here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2 to Asamura. Asamura has been a very dangerous hitter this season for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. As we mentioned in his previous at-bat, he's returned to the form that he had in 2020. And so here comes the 0-2 offering as Mima comes set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike. And Asamura stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that go by for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. All 3 pitches looked like they were identical to one another. 3 breaking balls on the outside corner. And each one of them painted the corner, and that is going to sit down Asamura for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the right fielder Hiroki Shimochi. Our friend Shotgun Shell asked where to be able to do that. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Alexander Leggett gave some information to you with regards to the stuff. We don't post the links in here, but we do have some information. And what a lot of people do is they like to sync it up and listen to us make the call. There's a breaking ball swung on his tap back to the pitcher. It's off the glove of Mima. It deflects over to the third baseman, Yasuda, and that is going to be an infield hit for Hiroki Shimochi. And he is going to be aboard for the 2nd time today, as that ball was just off of the glove of the pitcher. Sometimes that is a play that the pitchers will try to make. If you can't make the play, it's almost better that you leave it go up the middle, because the second baseman, probably Nakamura, might have had a better shot to make that play. But Shimochi is aboard with his 2nd hit of the ball game, and that's going to bring up Jose Marmolejos. For Marmolejos, he is 0 for 2. He has flown to left and grounded into a double play. So the runner at first is Shimochi. There is 1 away, and Marmolejos steps up to the plate. He's got 3 homers and 15 RBIs. This could be one of those situations where he could turn the game around. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. This is the Eagles. Could be an Eagles turning point here. The Eagles are able to flip the scoreline, and you could start to anticipate a very tough evening the rest of the way for the Marines. The bullpen for the Eagles is pretty locked down solid. They start getting into the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings with a lead. They are a very tough team to beat. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. Appreciate you guys saying that, and we're glad you guys are here. As mentioned, we are going to be calling on the Saturday game, which is Friday night. We're going to do the Tohoku Rakuten Eagles and the Saitama Cebu Lions. We're going to take tomorrow off from the NPB, and then we're also going to do on Saturday night, which would be the Sunday Japanese games, we're going to do the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Marmoleos. Might be a fuel check time here for the pitcher as he's at 85 pitches. You may want to start getting some action going in the Chiba bullpen. So here comes the 3-0, and there's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. The count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The third baseman, Fumiya Kurikawa, is waiting his turn on deck. So Marmoleos waiting on the 3-1 offering. You got to think that this is going to be a green light right here. And here comes the 3-1. It is a breaking ball. This ball is swung on. It's scorched down the right field line. It's into the corner. Sliding over is Martin, digging around second and heading to third. And the ball has been cut off. They're going to stop Shimouchi at third base. Marmoleos slides into second. And we've got ourselves some action here as Marmoleos has got himself a double. I think Shimouchi, had he rounded the base, if they would have saw that the ball had squirted away from the cutoff man, he may have had an opportunity to be able to score. But that is going to bring the pitching coach out of the Marines dugout. And it is going to be a situation that Fumiya Kurikawa is going to have an opportunity to try to pound home a couple of runs. So Marmoleos absolutely sat on that one. He hit an absolute P-rod down the first base line. And this is going to be a real interesting situation here as we've got runners on second and third with 1 away here in the 6th inning. So the crowd, what there is in Tohoku, are in full effect, and that is going to bring up the left-handed hitting Kurikawa. For Kurikawa, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He has a single and a flyout to center field. He's raised his season average up to 303. So right-hander against the left-hander. Mima ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The bottom part of the batting order for the Eagles tonight has been a thorn in the side of Mima. When you look at the bottom part, they have 3 hits. And that is going to amount to 3 of the 5 hits going into this inning. They now have 7 hits as a team in the ballgame. And here comes the 0-1 offering. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. And the count is now 0-2 on Kurikawa. But they have provided the offense, and that is always a major concern. If the bottom part of the order is putting runners on and providing you offense, eventually the top part's going to wake up. They're going to do some damage as well. So no balls and 2 strikes to Kurikawa. So Kurikawa digs himself in. As we said the other night when we've done the Eagles, they really can roll out a lot of left-handed batters. So if I'm going to the bullpen, I want to see what kind of lefties that Chiba's going to roll out here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And Mima delivers a breaking ball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And sometimes it looks like a breaking ball, but that was actually a split finger pitch that hung up in the zone. There's a similar action sometimes out of Mima's hands, so when I go back and look at it, you can catch it on the replay. Dropped like a 12-6 offering, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kurikawa digs in. He's looking to go to battle here against the right-hander Mima, and there's a pitch. It is a Another split finger pitch. That is swung on in self-defense. It's lifted foul over the third base dugout. And the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is going to be a turning point of the ball game here. The crowd has got the thunder sticks out. They're making their noise in Tohoku. We've got runners at second and third. There's one away, and the count is 1-2 to Kurikawa. Mima gets the sign from his catcher Matsukawa, and he comes set at the belt. And now he steps off, and he's going to do this all over again. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kurikawa. And how big is that last inning where the Chiba Lotte Marines had that runner Yasuda thrown out at third for the third out of the inning? And now all of a sudden this here looms like it could be a turning point. So the runner at second is Marleos. The runner at third is Shimauchi. Mima checks the runners. He kicks and fires. There is a split finger pitch that's down in the dirt. It's blocked by the catcher. He squirts away from him. Mima comes sprinting in. And that count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kurikawa. Everybody is listening in here on this one. The Eagles are threatening as they've got 2 on. There's runners at second and third. And Kurikawa at the plate with a 2-2 count. Our friend Kern Runner is there. He's giving you that information a little bit in the stuff. Breathe deep. If you look up, you'll see it. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Mima holds at the belt, checks the runners. He kicks and delivers. There's a ground ball, and it's grounded to the second baseman Nakamura, who's in. The infield was in for the Marines, so there was nowhere for the runners to go. And they're going to retire Kurikawa at first on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. So Tatsumi steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 1 today. He singled back in the second. He walked and scored a run in the 5th. So the Marines are going to play their defense back now. So they've got the chance here to score some runs, but that was a big play as Kurikawa was not able to punch it through the infield. We've got Fleming Papa in the house. He says, "Who will win? If I knew that, I would be a very wealthy man." So here comes the first offering to Tatsumi. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Tatsumi waggles the bat. He's ready for the offering from from the right-hander Mima. This is going to be the 95th pitch of the ball game for the right-hander Mima. And here comes the 0-1 offering. Mima holds at the belt. He checks the runners. And he kicks and fires. It is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And now Tatsumi is really in the hole as it's no balls and 2 strikes. We've got a whole bunch of people in the chat tonight that are joining us. We thank everybody for popping in. This is a great spot of the ball game. No balls and 2 strikes to Tatsumi. The runners are at second and third with 2 away. The pitcher Mima is looking to dig himself out of a hole here. He gets the sign from his catcher Matsukawa. He comes set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch that misses down and away, and that runs the count down to 1-2. Very good job by the batter Tatsumi to hold off on the pitch. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Tatsumi. Mima looking probably like he's going to be at the end of the leash here. One would think that the Marines are probably going to have some action going in their bullpen for the 7th inning. Although it looks like that Kishi is going to be coming back out for his 7th inning at work. Here comes the 1-2. There's a split finger down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tatsumi has been on base twice tonight. He's looking to try to find his way on for the 3rd one. And as the Mima is the off of the mound, Jose Marmoleos wandering off the base. He turns and fakes a throw over to second, and Marmoleos goes diving back to the bag. Not sure why he's getting his lead when the pitcher isn't on the rubber. He's a fielder. He can take a free shot at him. So here comes the 2-2 offering to Tatsumi. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and that runs the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Tatsumi is going to get the payoff pitch here. I wonder if this will be the last hitter that the right-hander Mima would face in this game, or if they're going to leave him in. As far as I'm concerned, he is almost out of gas. So here comes the 3-2 to Tatsumi. And here comes the pitch from Mima. He holds at the belt. He checks the runners. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Camping out underneath it is the center fielder, Oka. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it. The Eagles threatened, but they failed to score here in the 6th inning. They had no runs. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 6 innings. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call. The top of the 7th inning after this. Here is our friend Matt again.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Chiba batting order. Stick around. We'll be right back after this. Here is our friend Dave.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave. Welcome back, everybody. We are now moving to the top of the 7th inning. It's going to be Edney Hechavarria, Ko Matsukawa, and Akito Takabe. That's the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. We've got Martin Rinney joining in here, and he is asking about anyone have a stream. You can go up and take a look in the chat as our friend Alexander Leggett has given some information on how to get one. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Hechavarria that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. For Hechavarria tonight, he is officially 1 for 2. He struck out his first time up and doubled and knocked in a run in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 2 tonight. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into right center field. This ball is going to get down. It's going to get cut off by the center fielder Tatsumi. He throws into second. There's going to be a play. Sliding in is Hechavarria, and the throw is not in time. Hechavarria is going to pick himself up the 2nd double of the ball game for himself. Just like that, Chiba has something brewing here in the 7th. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Ko Matsukawa. So both of these teams now are starting to put some offense together. They just haven't been able to always cash the runs in. So Hechavarria on second. And that brings up Matsukawa, who is 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded to short, and he is lined to the center fielder. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they would consider bunting Hechavarria over to third. And that exactly looks like what he is going to be doing. He's already squaring to bunt. We sometimes see in the games here that they come up to the plate bunting. We kind of laugh and say maybe that's what they practice in the on-deck circle, is being able to square around and get their bat in good position. Not using it for the swings as much as it is for the bunts. So the catcher, Simitani, is up in front of the plate. He's flashing the signs for the bunt defense out to the D. So the corners are in, the middles are in double play, or in a deeper position because they're jockeying with the runner at short. Our friend Shotgun Shell is saying he listens to MLB and NHL, and we smoke them all. Well, we appreciate that. The first pitch that was delivered to Matsukawa was squared on and bunted foul, and the count is 0-1. Sometimes that happens. We appreciate you for tuning into us. Nonetheless, we do call some of the major league games as well. So when people are at work, we'll give you some of those play-by-play, and we will be doing that tomorrow. We'll have the Tigers and the Athletics. Hopefully I can stay awake for that one. Those two teams are certainly not go-to teams, that's for sure. So here comes the 0-1 offering to Matsukawa. It's bunted, it's down, and it is just going to roll foul on the first baseline. That is going to run the count now to 0-2. But we do thank you, everybody here, for checking in with us. We do enjoy calling the ball games. When the interleague play starts in a couple of weeks, we are going to do the middle of the night games. So that is going to be, most of those games are going to start at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. on the East Coast. We want to try to get as many of those games in as possible. So here comes the offering to Matsukawa. Kishi holds at the belt. He delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Matsukawa, as looks like he's got the bunt sign taken off now with the 2 strikes on him, or is it? No, it's coming back out again. They're still going to bunt him with 2 strikes. He's got a job to do. He's got to be able to get Hechavarria over to third. They're keeping him close. He bunts. It gets it down. It's a good one. The pitcher, Kishi, fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Matsukawa on a ground out, or a sacrifice. It's going to go down as 1-4 in that situation, as the second baseman was over covering. So Asamura receives the ball. That is the first out of the inning. Hechavarria has advanced to third. That is going to bring in the top of the order, Akito Takabe, to the plate, with a runner on third and 1 away. So the runner at third is Hechavarria, and now that brings the top of the order, Takabe, to the plate. Last night we saw a botched squeeze play, so we'll be keeping our eyes on this to see if Takabe might want to lay something down. Here comes the first offering from Kishi, and it is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kishi working from the stretch. The infield is in on the grass. They're looking to try to cut the runoff at the plate. And here comes the 1-0 offering to Takabe. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to second. They come home with it. There's a play at the plate. The tag is not in time, and Hechavarria has scored the run. It looks like the Eagles may want to take a look at this one. They're going to take a look to see if the throw was in time. Hechavarria is getting the high fives in the dugout. The Marines are up now 4-2. That is going to go down as a fielder's choice as Takabe is safe at first. Hechavarria has scored. That runs the score now to 4-2. And the inning is still got a ways away. The throw was not in time. Hechavarria slides in and he beats the throw safely. So now that is going to be a 4-2 score line. It also brings the manager Ishii out of the dugout, and that looks like that is going to do it for the pitcher Kishi. They've left him in just a little bit too long. Now they're going to be going to the bullpen, one would assume. So 6 1/3 innings, 102 pitches. That's going to be the end of the line for Kishi as he is done for the night. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, as we do have a pitching change, and we'll get you that information when we return. Hang tight. Here is our friend Steve again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. We do have a pitching change. It is going to be Ryota Ishibashi. He is a right-hander taking over for Takayuki Kishi, who goes 6 1/3. He is still responsible for the runner at first base. Last night, Ishibashi came in relief. He pitched for the Eagles. He came in and was able to retire the side in the 5th inning. So he pitched a third of an inning last night. And so he is going to be facing the captain of the Marines. That is Shogo Nakamura. And here comes the first offering, but instead he throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Takabe. So Ishibashi is on in relief here, and he comes set. He's ready to deliver. And here's again, the first offering is not going to go to Nakamura. Again, he throws over to first base, and again, Takabe is diving back. Takabe has a stolen base tonight, and he's got 8 on the season, so it is a concern for the right-hander. He does like to run. He establishes his lead over at first, and again, they throw over, and again, diving back in time. Daichi Suzuki applies the tag, but the base runner is quick in getting back to the bag. Shibashi is now going to have to work some of the long, short movements. He holds at the chest. He delivers. There's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nakamura. So 4-2 is the scoreline here. We always update our ticker at the end of the half inning, as things are moving fairly quickly here in the top of the 7th. So here comes the 1-0 offering. And there is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now is 2-0 to Nakamura. There's nothing worse when you bring a reliever in who can't throw strikes. It gets everybody going crazy. So 2 balls and no strikes it is to Nakamura. The right-hander holds at the chest. He delivers. It is a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. It is the first baseman, Toshiya Sato, who waits his turn on deck. We do have 1 out here in the 7th inning. And Ishibashi again throws over to first, and again diving back is the base runner. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. Call Me Gotti says to get the tendencies, you got to bet on the tendencies. Here we go. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch swung on. It is popped up on the right side of the infield. Coming underneath it is Daichi Suzuki. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Nakamura for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it up to Toshiya Sato. For Sato tonight, he is 0 for 3. He is grounded to the first baseman. He has flown out to left and grounded to second. So Sato is ready to go to battle here with 2 away in the 7th inning. And again, throwing over to first base is the pitcher Ishibashi, and diving back in his time is Takabe. So here comes the first offering to Sato. Ishibashi holds at the chest, and he kicks and fires. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. There's been some opportunities that we could say have been lost in this one. Certainly Chiba having the third out at third in the last inning. They could have capitalized potentially on making some runs. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that misses down. The count is 2-0. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles had runners at second and third in the bottom of the 6th with only 1 out and failed to score. So the game of lost opportunity is almost what we can call this one. So 2 balls and no strikes to Sato. This might be an opportunity for the runner to take off here. And Ishibashi delivers. There goes the runner. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Coming hard is the center fielder Tatsumi. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire the Chiba Lotte Marines in their half of the 7th inning. There was 1 run. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 7th. The score is the Chiba Lotte Marines 4, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. Stick around, everybody. We will be back in just a couple moments after this from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. And it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming to bat here in the Eagles' 7th inning. And there is a pitching change now for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It is going to be Tojo. It's going to be Taiki Tojo coming into the ball game. So he is going to be taking over on in relief of Manabu Mima. Mima is going to be in line for the win. That would be his first of the season if they are able to hold on. That would be Chiba. So Tojo into the ball game. Going to be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters here. So Taiki Tojo now takes over on the mound. So now it becomes the battle of the bullpens. And I still think that in this race here, the Eagles have the advantage. We'll have to see how this one plays out. So Tsuyoshi Yamazaki steps to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Yamazaki tripled home a run his last time up, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. He is also flown to left. He is struggling on the season. He entered the fray tonight hitting only 141. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 0-2. Yamazaki, Simatani, and Nishikawa here in the 7th inning for the Eagles. So here is the 0-2 offering as it's ready to go underway here from Tojo. So right-hander against the left-hander. Here's the pitch, and it is a fastball that misses outside. And the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamazaki. Tojo working from the stretch. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Yamazaki is gone on strikes for out number 1 here in the 7th inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Sumatani. Sumatani tonight is officially 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and grounded to short in his 2 times to the plate. He has played fairly well defensively for the Eagles. And he's a calming influence on the pitching staff, the veteran. He came over in a trade last year with the Yomiuri Giants. So here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side of home plate. So the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. So Breathe Deep asked the question. He says, are umps necessary with today's technology? And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. It's going to get into center field as it gets past the middle infielders. So Simatani's got himself a base hit. So he's got a 1-out single, and that brings up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. It's probably still a little too early in the game. I was going to say maybe if it was the 8th or the 9th inning, we might see a pinch runner in this situation for Simatani, but one would have to think that they are still in a situation where he is needed in the ball game. So back to the question that was posed by Breathe Deep, are umps really necessary in today's ball game? I still think it is. I think the human element of the game is what makes the game great. I'm not a huge fan of all the extra technology, the shifts, some of this other stuff that's going on. Tommy John once said, the former Dodger and Yankee pitcher, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike to Nishikawa, and the count is 0-1. Tommy John once said this game is unrecognizable to him. He mentioned that last year. And in a lot of ways, he's absolutely right. The Blue Jays playing with 4 outfielders at times today, 3 infielders, the shifts that are going on, the strikeout home run type of game. And there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. When you watch the Japanese game, there was a lot more purity to the game. I say purity because there's almost an innocence to the way that the game is played in Japan. They still bunt, they hit and run, they slash. They let their pitchers throw more than 80 pitches and go more than 5 or 6 innings. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the right field line, but it just goes foul. That is going to run the count now to 1-2 to Nishikawa. So Shotgun Shell asks, he says, do baseball donations go to you or are there more people involved? No, pretty much just to me at Last Raps Baseball. We appreciate you, but I always tell people it's not always necessary. We're not a monetized channel. If sometimes people will send us stuff, but we appreciate that. We never turn it down, but we have fun in doing this. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses in, and the count runs even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. So Tojo has one out and the runner at first here. He's looking to try to take care of Nishikawa because it's only going to start to get tougher from here. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Nishikawa is gone on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the first baseman Daichi Suzuki. So 2 strikeouts surround a single here in the inning, and Suzuki is going to come to the plate. I'm going to ask our friend Shotgun Shell 80 who his favorite teams are and who he listens to. But I'm also going to toss out into the chat a general question: was where is everybody from tonight? We have some people that we know where they're at or where they're from. So if you drop it into the comments section, we'll read it out as we move along. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Suzuki. Always like to hear where people are listening from. Alexander Leggett is in Washington, D.C. Breathe Deep is in Tennessee. Current runner is Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a fastball that misses down. And the count is 1-1. Our friend Shotgun Shell is in California. Martin Rennie is in Iowa. Breathe Deep is in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been to Knoxville. Jessica's in Jersey City, New Jersey. Jessica's name is Joseph, by the way. Sorry, Joseph. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Suzuki. So that's great. We got people from all over the states. I was starting to mention earlier, there's Kenneth Austin from Knoxville. We had a fella named Ben Roberts who listens to our streams. He usually jumps in the late night streams, ones we do in the middle of the night. He is a expat living in Yokohama. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and it's now 2-2. We see Kenneth Austin in Johnson City, Tennessee. We love the fact that you guys are up in the middle of the night listening to baseball with us. Baseball is one of the greatest games, or at least I think it's the greatest. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. It's fielded neatly by the first baseman, Sato. He steps on the bag, and that is going to do it here in the 7th inning. It goes as a ground out to 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. We got Wait What's Again in Ottawa, Canada. Hey, that's great. The nation's capital is with us. All right, everybody, we had no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 7 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles trailing the Chiba Lotte Marines 4-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. It's great to see everybody here sharing the love of some baseball. We got to love it. Here is our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change, and we're going to get you that update in just a moment, as it is another right-hander coming out of the bullpen for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It is number 9, Masaya Nishigaki, and he is taking over. This is going to be the 3rd pitcher used by the Golden Eagles tonight. So Nishigaki coming in. And this is not who we would see probably if it was a tight ball game or if the Eagles were winning. We usually see the right-hander Chihao Sung. He is one of those ones that come in, or maybe even Enraku, who pitched last night. I think he pitched last night or a couple nights ago. Definitely Masui, Those would be the ones that would provide the winning combination. So Masaya Nishigaki now coming into the ball game. And he is about to face, for the Chiba Lotte Marines, the heart of the batting order. It's going to be Brandon Laird, Hisanori Yasuda, and Leonis Martin. I started to ask the question to our friend Shotgun, who's down in California, of who are the teams he listens to, whether it be for baseball or for anything else. Alexander Leggett says Hollis needs some singing lessons. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Brandon Laird. So Laird, Yasuda, and Martin here in the 8th inning. Yeah, Matt Hollis, he's an interesting character, that is for sure. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's actually got a record or something out. There's a breaking ball that is now 2-0. He did some rapping in his younger years. I'm not sure if he's got it on iOS or not. And I'd have to get you his name or his performing name at the time. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. And it is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. And this ball, if it stays fair, is going to be gone. And it is a home run for Brandon Laird. A solo shot, a no-doubter. And that is going to extend the lead to 5-2 for the Chiba Lotte Marines. And Chiba now has given themselves a 3-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Brandon Laird absolutely turned on that one, hammered that ball into the left field seats. The score now is 5-2. Just looking back here as Kern Runner had to come back in. He's doing the fist pumps. He got himself some money. Good for you, Kern Runner. Congratulations. That is so awesome. Well, maybe we'll see you again tomorrow or in a couple of nights when we do our next game. And we thank you for stopping by. So here's the first pitch to Yasuda. It is a fastball that is swung on. It's hit into right field. Yasuda's got himself a single. And right now, the reliever Nishigaki is a bit of a piñata as he is getting knocked around here. Shotgun Shell says he was a Giants fan for 30 years, but had to, because of politics and COVID, had to stop rooting for him. He goes, I listened to everyone and love the game. That's awesome. We really appreciate you stopping in and being a part of this. We have a lot of fun in doing it. So Yasuda gets himself a single, but now we have a pinch runner for the Marines. It looks like it's Ogawa is the runner. As he is in the ball game, it is Leonis Martin stepping up to the plate. Valte 904 pops in, says, what's the score? Well, the Marines have just extended the lead to 5-2. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 1-0 to Leonis Martin. And by the looks of it, Nishigaki has brought his gasoline can with him and has soaked the mound. And there is a fire started here in the 8th inning for the Eagles. It is a 5-2 scoreline for the Marines, and Nishigaki is ready to deliver to Leonis Martin. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. Suzuki fields it over to second for one, back to first. And it is a Eagles double play. That's going to go down as a 3-6-3 double play, as Leonis Martin is retired on the back end. So 3-6-3. That is going to retire Yasuda for the first out, or I should say Ogawa, the pinch runner, and it retires Martin on the back end. That's going to leave it up to Hiromi Oka. So Oka steps up to the plate. He is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a homer, a couple RBIs, a single, and he's also struck out. And here comes the first offering from the right-hander Nishigaki. It is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So Shotgun Shell asks, who is my team? Well, my team is, for baseball, the Detroit Tigers. Growing up 20 minutes from Old Tiger Stadium, seeing a lot of ball games. In the Japanese League, I really don't have a particular team. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Oka. So, but living out on the West Coast, the Seattle Mariners usually get to about 10 of their games a year. And then up and down the coast to see other stuff. There's a fastball that swung on. This ball is lifted into the seats down the right field line. It's going to run the count to 1-2 on Oka. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oka's had a very nice game at the plate today. As we said, he's got a couple of hits. He's lifted his batting average up as he entered the fray tonight at only 191. So here comes the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. Like father, like son in here. That's our friend Joe. We thank you for popping in, Joe. It's been a great night tonight in the stream. Your guy, Edney Hechevarria, is on deck, so if you're sticking around, you might want to listen to that one. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball that's taken for a called third strike, and Oka is gone for the third out of the inning. But the Chiba Lotte Marines pad their lead. They got 1 run on the homer by Brandon Laird. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is Chiba 5 and Tohoku 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be with us. Here's another one of our Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame memories.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We are here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's going to be Hideo Asamura, Hiroki Shimouchi, and Jose Marmoleos. And that is going to be kind of funny. I am seeing that Shotgun Shell. I got a funny story for you, Shotgun Shell 80. My uncle housed Nelson Cruz when he was in the minors playing for the Modesto Nuts. He's a great guy. Gave my family hundreds of tickets through the years. Also nice to you, great guy. Well, we do have a pitching change. It is going to be another right-hander coming in for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It looks like it is going to be Teheran Guerrero. We'll have to get that one confirmed for you in just a minute here. I'm looking at my roster here, and for whatever reason, maybe I don't have Guerrero on this roster. It is a little bit dated. I'm going to have to print something out here. There are some changes as Edney Hechevarria has now moved over to third base. And the first pitch is going to be delivered here to Hideo Asamura. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Asamura. My lineup card is a little bit dated. So I'm going to get you the information on Guerrero. He is a hard-throwing right-hander. I've seen him pitch earlier before. There's a fastball swung on. This is popped up over on the first base side. Moving over underneath it is the first baseman, Sato. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to retire Asamura for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. So Asamura is retired. That is going to bring up Hiroki Shimouchi. Shimouchi today is 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles. This is Teheran Guerrero, by the way. Guerrero has pitched in 10 ball games. He's got 1 win and 1 loss. He's worked 9 1/3 innings, allowing 9 hits. is 6 walks and 12 strikeouts. He's got a 3.86 ERA, just for everybody that's listening in. There's a fastball that comes in and is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Shimochi. Guerrero had pitched in the Padres and the Marlins organizations. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. He's a lanky right-hander. He stands, I believe, just over 6'7". He's not that heavy. He's only about 230 pounds for somebody who is 6'7". So here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. So I'm starting to say about Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz, when he lived in Vancouver, I have a customer, or had a customer, who actually billeted Nelson Cruz. And so their son, once upon a time, used to come to our programming. So we used to get all the Nelson Cruz stories, but that's probably about 10 years ago. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. And the count is going to remain at 1-2 to Shimochi. So that's kind of interesting that you said that. I remember when he was here, and I can't remember what organization Cruz would have been with at the time. Our friend Devalte 904YT says they can't lose 2 days in a row. Well, yeah, they can, because good pitching always beats good hitting, and the Chiba Lotte Marines have rolled out some good pitching the last couple of days. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2 on Shimochi. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I can't remember where Cruz was in the minor leagues, what organization, because I know that once upon a time, Oakland was involved here, as were the White Sox. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded by Nakamura. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Shimochi on a ground out 4-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away here in the 8th inning, and that is going to leave it all up to Jose Marmolejos. The Eagles need base runners, and then they need the batters to bang those runners home. Marmolejos is going to step up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 today. He's grounded into a double play. He's flown to left, and he has doubled. And here comes the pitch from Guerrero. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. As a reminder, just a couple of programming notes. We are going to be doing the Saturday game, or the Saturday Japan game. It'll be Friday night in North America on the West Coast. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. And that game that we're going to do is going to be between the Saitama Cebu Lions and these Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. So hopefully you can make it in for that one. And then on the Sunday game Japan time, or the Saturday night, early Sunday morning North American time, we're going to do the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 to Marmolejos. So keep those in mind. We will post those up in the next day or so you can see them in advance. If you're subscribed to the channel, you can get those notifications. There's a fastball that misses up and away. And the count is now 2-2. So one would think after Guerrero here, we're going to see Masuda for the 9th inning. He is the closer, and they'll probably roll him out back-to-back nights. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And Marmolejos swings and misses at a breaking ball, and that is going to do it, as he is retired for the 3rd out here in the 8th inning. So we are going to the 9th, as the Eagles are retired in order in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through 8 complete. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 5, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the calls in the top of the 9th inning. Glad you guys could be here once again. Here is some more of our Japanese Hall of Fame memories.
everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We have another pitching change for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It's going to be Shinri Komine coming into the game. And he was originally a training player, so he is coming on in relief here. So he is new to me. I haven't seen him before, so we're going to get an opportunity to see how this right-hander is going to fare here. So this is Shinri Komine. And we're getting him into our books as he is completing his warm-up tosses. We have, it's kind of interesting, our friend Shotgun Shell says that he listens to the National Hockey League and also to the Major League Baseball games and, of course, the announcers. I have a young lad who's in our program. He's a little bit younger, and he comes to our program, and his father is a commentator for the Seattle Kraken. And he is, obviously, their season is done, and he is off to cover the World Hockey Championships in Helsinki, Finland. He's covering it for one of the Canadian networks. So here comes the first offering from Komine, and it is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Hechavarria. So that would make sense that Nelson Cruz would have been with the Modesto Nuts at the time with Oakland, because Oakland was a organization that was with the Toronto Blue Jays. There's a fastball that misses down. I mean, the Toronto Blue Jays, the Vancouver Canadians. So 2 balls and no strikes to Hechavarria. The Oakland Athletics, when I first came out here, were the affiliates for the Canadians. And the manager of the team was, I want to say, Rick Magnanti or Mike Magnanti. I think it was Rick Magnanti. And he also coached the South African team in the World Baseball Classic. It was a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Hechavarria. It's 8-9-1 in the Chiba batting order here in the 9th. After Hechavarria, it'll be Matsukawa. And then Takabe, there is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hechavarria. The right-hander, Komine, he waits at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. It's fielded neatly by the third baseman, Karakawa. He fires to first. Hechavarria is going to be erased on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Ko Matsukawa. So like father, like son, was cheering for Edney. If you would have been here earlier, you would have known that he had a great game tonight at the plate. By Hechavarria standards there, Joe, he was 2 for 3. He had a couple of doubles and an RBI, but unfortunately that rollover to third is not going to help pad the stats. So that is now going to bring up a pinch hitter for Matsukawa. I'll have to get you that in just a moment here. And the first offering is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. So the hitter here for Chiba is wearing number 99. This is Tomoya Kakanuma. So Kakanuma most likely will come in and replace the catcher Matsukawa. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. Seen Kakanuma play before, so he is in the ball game. He's wearing the popular 99 that Aaron Judge will wear in North America. There was a fastball that swung on and tap foul. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering from the right-hander. Come on, he delivers. It is a fastball that is chopped back to the pitcher. He fields it. He flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Kekanuma. That's a ground out, 1-3 for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring the top of the order, Akito Takabe. Like father, like son says, that's a great game for him. I don't think he ever went 2-for-4 for you guys. Joe is an Atlanta Brave fan. He might have had 2 hits in a week, might have been something for Hechavarria. He had a few moments, just not enough moments. Our friend Shotgun Shell says that the Kraken is usually a late game. Always watch and listen to them. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 0-1 to Takabe. So the fellow that does the color for them is Dave Tomlinson. He used to be involved with the Vancouver Canucks a few years ago. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is now 0-2. Tomlinson is a former Canuck and a former Toronto Maple Leaf, amongst others. Spent a long time over in Europe playing hockey. There was a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. He was over in Europe for about 10 years. I spent seemed like 10 minutes. That's going back 14 years ago that I had my tour in Germany. So no balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball that is taken for a called third strike. Takabe stood there like the house by the side of the road. He got rung up on strikes for out number 3 here in the 9th inning. And that is going to do it for Chiba in their half of the 9th. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Eagles are trailing 5-2. They're down to their last wraps. Stick around here, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call of the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Once again, we appreciate you, Matt Hollis, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Matt. Be sure to check him out after the game. It is a 5-2 Chiba lead as we're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. And coming up to bat for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles is going to be Fumiya Kurikawa, Ryosuke Tatsumi, and Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And we do have a pitching change. It is going to be Naoya Masuda in the ballgame. That is the closer for the Marines, and he is taking over. And he is going to be the 4th pitcher used by Taniguchi tonight. And he's looking to seal the deal here. Our friend Devalte 904YT asks, who do you think is the best team in Japan? Well, I think this year, the 2 teams in the Pacific League, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, in my opinion, are the 2 best in the Pacific. Fukuoka is, of course, had quite the run there that ended last year, as they'd run a number of Japan titles in a row. They are a very strong club. They're pitching rich. They have a good offense. Obviously, right now, the Golden Eagles have the best record, but don't count out Fukuoka. And it is probably, in my opinion, in the other league, in the Central League, and there's a first pitch fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Yeah, we're in the bottom of the ninth, Raymond. It is the last inning. You can see across the ticker, it'll show you that we are in the bottom of the ninth inning. I would say in the Central League, I really like the Murray Giants. Of course, the Occult Swallows, who won the whole thing last year. I haven't seen enough of them this year. There's a split finger pitch that misses down. And the count is 1-1. This a closer, Masuda, who comes in, he always seems to make things interesting. It is never an easy inning. He does get the job done, but he does throw sometimes too many pitches. But he gets you to bite your nails, that's for sure. Here comes the 1-1 offering. And there is a fastball that catches the outside corner. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's what Raymond is hoping for, is the no runs for the under 7.5. It's amazing how they can get the score lines on this just straight away. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to the left-handed hitting Kurikawa, and it is a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Masuda blows it by him. He stood there watching, and he is retired for out number 1 here in the ninth inning, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. So Tatsumi strides up to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He has singled, he's flown out to center, and he walked in, scored a run. So Tatsumi batting from the left side against the right-hander Masuda, and there's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in. And the count is 1-0. So it looks like that the starter, Takayuki Kishi, is going to be in line for the loss tonight. Yeah, it looks like Miba, the starter for the Marines, is going to get his first win. So here comes the 1-0 offering to Tatsumi. He kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up into shallow left field. Coming in on it is the left fielder, Takabe. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Tatsumi for the second out of the inning. And now they are down to their final out, are the Eagles. They're going to lose 2 out of 3 here at home after their 11-game win streak was snapped last night. Now they're on a verge of a 2-game losing streak. So Yamazaki steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He tripled home a run in the 5th. He's also struck out and flown out. So here's the first offering from Masuda, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is 1-0. One thing I'd be curious to know about Masuda, but also about other closers, when these guys come in there to start a clean inning, who is the best at getting 3 up and 3 down in a row? That to me would be an interesting statistic, whereas, sometimes guys will struggle. They put people on. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. And that is going to run the count to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So shotgun, I'm not sure if you're William, but I do appreciate you. We thank you for your support. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. And here comes the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the Eagles are down to their final strike. After the ball game is over, we'll break for just a moment, and then we'll come back and do a recap and go through all the scoring, and then we will call it a night. But it is the final strike here is what Masuda is looking to deliver. Here is the pitch. It is a split finger pitch. That's taken for a ball down in the dirt. The count is now 2-2. We appreciate you. We are going to be doing a daytime game tomorrow. We're going to call a major league game between the Tigers and the Athletics. As I mentioned earlier, we do some of the major league stuff as well, but boy, oh boy, that game tomorrow might require some extra help. I was thinking earlier we were talking about possibly getting Bacardi to sponsor that game. Either that or it's going to be Newfoundland Screech or something. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side of home plate. But if you're into the late night stuff, we are going to call the games on Friday and Saturday at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Those will be the Saturday and the Sunday games, so hopefully you can join us. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. And here comes the offering from Masuda to Yamazaki. He kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch. It misses down. And now that runs the count full to Yamazaki. You certainly don't want to start putting base runners on here because then it starts to become a problem. If you walk a guy, maybe you hit a guy, and the next thing you know, somebody steps up and hits a 3-run shot, and we're all back to square. So here we go again. Here comes the 3-2 offering now to Yamazaki. Masuda holds at the belt. And he kicks, and he delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses outside. That is ball 4. Yamazaki gets himself a 2-out walk. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Simatani. So Masuda never seems to want to do things easily. Everything is always a bit of a challenge when he's on the mound. I remember last year early in the season when he went down to, when they were in Fukuoka, and he absolutely gave away games early in the season. He just couldn't find himself. But once he was able to do it, he settled down. So that is going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Simatani. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single, a ground out to the shortstop, and a ground out to second. He swings at the first pitch, fastball, and fouls that off. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Simatani. So a couple of folks are in here asking if it's over. It's not quite over yet, but it's pretty close to being over. There's 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. No balls and 1 strike to Simatani. The runner at first is Yamazaki. The Eagles are down to their final out. Simatani waggles the bat. He's waiting on the offering from Masuda. And now Masuda kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. It's taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. Shotgun Shell says, great, Detroit and Oakland it is. I'm not even sure what the pitching matchup for that is going to look like tomorrow. I was taking a look at some of that stuff earlier, and boy, the Tigers are in disarray right now. Looks like it is going to be James Caprillion against Bo Brisk. Both of those 2 pitchers are 0-2. There's a split finger pitch down to the dirt. The count now goes to 1-2. So that could either play into our favor or it could be an absolute firework game. That is one of the day games tomorrow, so it'll be 10-10 on the Pacific Coast. So we'll get up in the morning and we'll make the call of that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Simatani. Masuda holds at the belt, and now he kicks and fires. There is a split finger pitch that misses down. It gets away from the catcher, and the base runner Yamazaki has moved over into second base. That'll be a wild pitch. It's going to even the count at 2-2. I've looked at calling different games. The Mets and the Nationals, didn't really like that one. They're going to try to complete the game between the Astros and the Twins tomorrow. And then the Cardinals and the Orioles are going to go at it. So nothing really there that interested me, although Jordan Hicks is starting, and I wouldn't mind seeing him pitch for the Cardinals. That is where we are at. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Simatani. And here comes the pitch from Masuda. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses up. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and they say he didn't go. That is going to run the count to 3-2. Looked like it was more self-defense. I don't know if he was trying to swing. He never did swing. It was just trying to turn his head out of the way. So that is where we're at here with the count at 3-2. It is going to be the top of the order that is waiting on deck, and that is Haruki Nishikawa. So they certainly don't want to get to the top of the order. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled off the mask of the catcher, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the crowd is on its feet. They're pretty active here. The Thunder Sticks are going. The runner at second is Yamazaki. It is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Simatani. Masuda is trying to close the deal right here for the Chiba Lotte Marines. This is the 20th pitch of the inning. He holds at the belt, and he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Simatani is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is your final score. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base here in the 9th inning. Your final is the Chiba Lotte Marines 5, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, as we appreciate you all for being here tonight. And we will wrap this one up, give you the stuff. Make sure you bookmark us. Let us know. Come on back again tomorrow, and we will see you guys for another ball game. We'll be right back in 30. Here's our friend Dave.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this up. It was a score line today. It was Chiba got out in front in the 2nd inning. It was a 2-run homer by Hiromi Oka. Oka did it with 1 out as Leonis Martin drew a walk, and then Oka pounded a 2-run shot into left center field to put Chiba up on front 2-0. Chiba added to their lead in the 4th inning, as it was the 1-out double by Leonis Martin. And then a strikeout was followed by an RBI double by Edney Hechavarria. That put the Marines up at 3-0. In the 5th inning, the Eagles got their 2 runs. It was a leadoff walk by Tatsumi, an RBI triple by Yamazaki, and then Simatani rounded out, but before that, Yamazaki scored on a wild pitch, and that made the scoreline 3-2. While Chiba tacked on another run in the 7th inning after a leadoff double by Hechavarria, he was sacked over to third by the catcher Matsukawa, and then the batter Takabe bounced into a fielder's choice, which allowed the runner Hechavarria to score from third. That increased the lead to 4-2. Well, in the top of the 8th inning, Brandon Laird had a solo shot to lead off the 8th inning. That made the score 5-2, and that was where your final score ended. We want to thank everybody again for tuning in. Just as a few reminders, we will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow morning for the Oakland A's and the Detroit Tigers. We're going to give that one a whirl, and hopefully we can join us for that. But as far as the NPB games, we'll be back on Friday night, North American time, 10 o'clock. That'll be the Saitama Cebu Lions and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. We'll follow that up on Saturday at 10 o'clock Pacific as well, with the game between the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Hopefully you can join us for all of those. We appreciate you all being here. Once again, this has been another Last Raps Baseball video production. Hope you all have a great night. Come on back and see us again later. We'll do this all over again. Have a great night, everybody.